Okay, so that May 8th show, it was my 10th show. I know because I counted. And if I go through my book there, you know, it's my 10th show. Okay. So, yeah, I was still pretty impressionable. I was 19, student at NYU. And it was like my first big solo adventure, I guess, because I had enough money for the bus fare up. It was a Greyhound bus ticket I took up. And I guess while I was on the bus, I met some people that I used to be a little more well prepared. I used to have paper with me or whatever. And I don't know if I had this folder with me, but I don't know. But these people had Dayglow orange paint, and they suggested I make a sign for thumbing it back from the show, and so they lent me their paint, and I made this sign that says NYC with a little Dayglow teardrop from the Steely there, and at the time, yes, that show is freaking phenomenal. I gotta say that I'm a big fan of the Travis Bean, and anytime any of those shows from '76 and '77 that he was playing that guitar, man, there was nothing like the sound of that guitar, and the show was great. I just remember the experience of walking up a big hill in Cornell there, and it was raining. It was cold. It was raining. It was May, and it was my mother's birthday. It was also, it is today, but she's no longer with us. It was Mother's Day, and I didn't know anybody at the show. I don't even remember where I got the ticket. I mean, my stub is like a beautiful, like it looks like a stub from the venue itself. I don't remember that I sent for it. I just don't remember. But I do remember that it was snowing after the show, and we were all. I guess that Morning Dew was just amazing. The show was just an amazing show. I was encumbered by pharmaceutical anything like that. I think I smoked a joint with somebody, but otherwise I was, in pretty good straight, narrow mind, and I had to get out to the front of the venue to hold up my little sign there to get a ride, and they started the Morning Dew, and I said, I can't leave during this because it was probably my first. It probably wasn't my first Morning Dew, but it was, as you know, it was Morning Dew for the ages. Anyway, what did they play after Morning Dew? What was the encore? One More Saturday Night on a Sunday. I mean, what the frick? So yeah, it was a really great show. A guy gave me a ride. My friend Eddie, I'm still friends with him today. He eventually wound up working for Maxell, of all places, and I was always never hurting for tapes or Maxell t-shirts or things like that. But the really funny thing that I remember, I mean, the whole experience was tremendous, but Eddie thought I was tripping, and he wouldn't let me drive, and it turns out later he was tripping his brains out. And we drove through the snow from upstate New York, and he lived in Westchester County, and he had a day job in Manhattan, and we stopped at his house, and he showered and came out from his bedroom in a suit and tie at like 7 in the morning, and I'm wearing like a tie-dye and like, dungarees, and just been up all night at the show. And we go to the train platform, the train station, and everyone there is business attire, briefcases, and that, and I'm just some like freaking skanky hippie, you know, and it was a night that I'll always remember. It was a great show. At the time, I didn't think it was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, because I didn't have a lot of context, but I could just say that the experience itself was so memorable, and the concert was great, and hearing it afterwards on whatever, digitally, or I guess I got a cassette of it first, but it validated and confirmed that, yeah, it was a really great show. I mean, I've seen a lot of great shows. At the time, that was probably, it was probably a pinnacle at the time. I don't know. I have to look at the whole experience. There was other shows that I've had better times at, because I was with the people I was with and the events surrounding it. But that was like, solo show. Got up there, saw that great show, met a friend for life afterwards, and just something that I'll never forget. So there you go. Enjoy your day.